effort to expand services alongside a growing school system, Hannibal Public School Board members held a meeting today to approve the appointment of a new position. WGEM Shakayla McCamick is back from Hannibal and that special meeting. She joins us now. Shakayla, what is the position that they created?
Mackenzie, the title of Assistant Superintendent with Hannibal Public Schools is a thing of the past, as the school board just established and filled the position of Chief Operating Officer. The COO will spearhead the budget forecast and oversee financial aspects of the school. And in today's school board meeting, members gathered to approve or deny the appointment of Ted Sampson to the position. They decided to go into closed session when it came time to discuss that. Superintendent Susan Johnson explained why.
Not all of our board members. Obviously, we had a quorum on Monday when we had announced that Ted was a finalist for the interview, but a couple of them, just due to summer vacations and things like that, weren't able to be there. And so they just had some questions, not that there was a problem, just about the interview process and things like that. And so, you know, just looking at sunshine law and some of those things, that's when you go into closed session just for discussion. So that's why we did that.
The closed session took around 2 hours. Johnson says they decided Ted Sampson, former Hannibal High School principal, would assume the new COO position.
My biggest excitement for this position is just all the opportunities we have coming forward in this upcoming school year. We have the Hannibal Innovative Campus that we are going to start working on, and we also have potential for a bond issue. So just really being able to be a part of that planning process to add on some opportunities for our kids.
Some initiatives school board members will pursue in the coming months include trying to obtain the Sutherland's building across the street from Hannibal schools to expand Hannibal's career tech programs. Shakayla McCamick, WGEM News.
Okay, thank you so much, Shakayla. And Johnson says she hopes to present a prospective bond issue to continue enhancing education within the next year.